Welcome back to Successful, the podcast where we bring on local entrepreneurs in Calgary and talk about how they got so successful and what they did to get there. So today with me, I have Rizzy. He's a local content creator, a really big social influencer, and a lot of you guys probably know him. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, man.
What's up, you guys? My name's Rizzy, just a local Calgary content creator. Just trying to do my thing, trying to show off the city, the good, the bad, everything, man. I just trying to be honest with people out here and try to, make a little light on things.
I just want to say, like, a lot of the filming staff, be it like behind the camera, they're huge fans of his work because they came to Canada recently, and they like before they actually even came here, like even from back home, they were watching his content, trying to see what's so good about Calgary, why people should move there. So you've had like a huge how do I say this? Like you've had a huge reach, whether you understand that or not. Like there's people in other countries actually watching before they even come here. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So, do you want to maybe tell us about why did you want to start this whole content creation thing?
Wow. Okay, so the whole content creation thing happened because, I used to make videos back in Toronto for a local shop. They actually gave me my first full-time gig being a content creator.
Oh, nice.
So I was running their YouTube channel and everything. And we ended up moving out here and I thought everything was over. And, it was just me and my wife, didn't really have any friends out here or anything in Calgary. So I just started making TikToks just to kind of pass the time. And
why did you move here? Like, if you don't mind me asking, was it for was it voluntarily, or did you have to move here because of work or something?
It was 100% voluntarily. Did a lot of research on the city before I moved here, as most people do before they move anywhere.
Of course.
And I found through the whole COVID event and everything, this city seemed to be kind of normal still, whereas in Toronto we were being held indoors and stuff.
Oh, so you moved here during COVID?
Right after COVID.
Oh, so that's super recent. So you moved here really
I've been
3 years ago?
Yeah, it's been 3 years now.
Wow, and you're already one of the biggest content creators here in Calgary. That's amazing, man.
And honestly, it's just posting every day.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day in
ages.
Ever. Since I started the Rizzy 2 Liddy account, I have not missed a single post.
And it's primarily on TikTok, or do you also cross post on other platforms as well?
I do cross post onto Instagram. It's not as frequently. I usually post my TikToks on my stories. So my stories and everything, I'm very active on Instagram. But other than that, I don't really post too much on Instagram. It's usually blogs around the city that repost my content. So, and I'm okay with that.
So how did you let's, for those people that don't know you, right? So your first few, let's say, months of content, what kind of stuff did you create?
It was basically just satire, comedy content about just things I was experiencing moving to the city.
Oh, is it like skits, sort of?
Yeah, I was using the TikTok sounds, but running kind of skits to them, and just my first job was at Marlboro Mall.
Oh, so, no! Your first job in Calgary
was at Marlboro Mall.
What the?
So I was put right into the fire.
Yeah,
and so
that's
all of that
a rough
was
one to start off with.
Yeah, it was all translating into my content, and people were relating to it.
Yeah.
And then people started coming to the store to visit me and stuff.
Wow.
And then I think around my account hit 5,000 followers, and the company I was working for, they called me and they're like, hey, you're getting a lot of traction. We can't have you in that mall anymore. We're going to get you in a better store.
Oh, okay. I thought they was going to go a different way.
Yeah, so they ended up moving me downtown to the core. I don't know if that was the better option.
Because there's so much more people there.
Yeah, there's so much more people.
Yeah. Do you still work with them?
No, I'm not there anymore.
Okay.
I had separated to go content full time.
I see.
Yeah, and I was blessed enough to do that for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Just recently started getting back into the work industry, I guess. Just sometimes the whole content creation thing, it's not a steady job all the time.
I 100% agree.
You'll make money.
There's peaks and
and then you have your low periods. So it is what it is. But
I can sort of relate to that because I also had a TikTok account. I did gaming stuff. It had around 1 million, but then I never monetized it because here in Canada it's really hard to monetize
Yeah.
unless you have like a US made account.
Yeah.
So I never monetized it, but I did like edits and stuff. But I understand exactly how tough it is every day having to wake up and knowing on your mind, okay, I need new content. I need new content. I gotta make something that I haven't made before, or
Yeah.
else it's like it's gonna flop, right?
Yeah,
So I totally understand that.
It drives my wife nuts. Like I'm just constantly always. She's off camera right now.
Yeah,
she definitely agrees. But yeah, sometimes I drive her a little crazy. I know, but I just got to keep the hustle going.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
agree.
me to where I am so far. I truly I feel I'm so like blessed that y'all have me on here.
Oh, of course,
'cause
man.
I don't see myself.
We're lucky to have you on. You're like huge. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming and
I don't
agreeing
see
to come here.
myself at that level of success yet. I feel like, you know, like I'm still like a small guy. Like
You know
people
those like
come up to me-
bodybuilders that are like massive and they're like, oh, I look small, I look tiny.
Yeah.
That's like you right now, man. You're huge. Like you just gotta own it. You gotta be confident. you know?
I guess I mean I don't want to like I'm a humble guy, like, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like I just having fun. I'm a guy, I keep telling people I'm just an idiot with a cell phone who has a little bit too much to say.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's been one of those things that I've been blessed that people agree with
Mm-hmm.
most of what I'm saying. I mean, there's a lot of people, my content will either rub you the right way or the wrong way. There's no in between. So, yeah.
I think that's like some of like the best content creators out there are people that don't do it for like the money, the fame, or whatever. They just do it because they think it's fun, and you know they just go on, they just shoot whatever they want to do, and people like it, and they see that how like natural, how honest that those people are being, and I feel like that's kind of what like gravitates people towards that content.
Yeah, and like I've been blessed to do so much because of it. I was able to, you know, be full-time
Yeah.
content creation, like making videos and editing every day. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
crazy.
so
right?
much, yeah.
I've gotten to, you know, work with different blogs around the city. I've across Canada even, and meet a bunch of different artists like Pressa and all those guys. So like,
Yeah.
I'm really blessed to be where I am. I'm not where I want to be yet. There's other levels.
Let's talk about that. So like, let's say in 5 years, where do you want to be at, or where do you see yourself?
I want to be more of an ambassador for the city.
Okay, for the city. Yeah.
And you know, as I said, I show the good and the bad. I don't want to like sugarcoat shit.
No, never.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find I don't want to like throw shade at anybody or anything, but there are a lot of people out there that, you know, say all this good stuff, but it's like, hey, what about the negatives, you guys? Like, not everything is butterflies
Yeah.
and rainbows
I
and
know what you
sunshine,
mean.
right? So
There's a lot of people that hide the bad stuff to make it look like, oh, the Calgary is this amazing place that you have to come visit.
Yeah.
And like your life's gonna change, and there's like unicorns down the street and stuff. Like, nah, it's not like that.
and like, don't get me wrong, it's like I've gotten blacklisted from a couple organizations around the city just because. Bless you, bro.
Bless you.
But yeah, no, yeah, just I've been blacklisted in a couple places around the city just because like
Damn.
it's a misunderstanding of the content. They like, you know, they
Did you
see-
give them like a bad review or something? Or?
No,
They're just mad.
I never give anybody a horrible review because like at the end of the day, it's their business.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash their business. I don't want to like. They have a family too, just like I have a family. I have people reporting my content all the time just to report it, right?
Yeah.
Just to see me fail, right? And I wouldn't wish that on anybody else, right? So I mean, yeah, I do. I've been doing honest reviews.
Yeah.
I'll be dead honest, but like I try to give constructive criticism.
Yeah, because I feel like there's always a room for improvement, and what it really just depends on like the owner whether they want to take that criticism and like try and make themselves better,
Yeah.
or they want to take it as like an attack and just like block you and never change.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, if you see me doing reviews, yeah, most of the time, like,
Yeah.
I'm not paid to be there for those reviews. I'm there. I'm paying for my meal. If I'm paid to be there, I make sure it's known that I'm paid to be there.
Yeah,
And you'll probably get the corniest video out of me, but you know, I'd rather be real. I don't know.
I do want to segue that into saying for those people out there watching, I have my own review thing. It's called Ash Reviews, or sorry, what is it? Calgary's Finest, where we go to some of like the best locations, whether it be food or activities, and we go and talk and visit 3 different locations at 3 different price points and tell you about which one is the most worth it for, you know, its price. So we'll have a link to that down below, and as well as I want to thank Celestia Productions for giving us this space. So if you guys have any sort of needs for your video production or anything, go to celestiaproductions.com and yeah, see us there. Thank you.
And this space is sick, y'all. So
Thank
definitely
you.
check it out. I'm gonna be making a video on this space after, because I didn't
Oh,
even know
hell
this
yeah,
was
let's
here.
go.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know this was here, and it's pretty
Sure,
cool.
man.
I love
The thing
everything
is,
that's going
like,
on here.
Our doors are always open. We're always okay for anyone to just come drop by, see the studio. Like, we're not like one of those like you know, those like old snobby.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to again throw out shade or anything, but there's a few. Should I say, no, there's a few places like that. There's a few places like
We
that.
gonna get messy out here today, boy. Oh man.
There's a few places out like that where they're very old. They're like, oh no, we've been just, like serving your old Grandpa Joe for like 200 years. No one's allowed in unless you have like a 20-year permit or whatever.
Yeah.
We're not like that. You guys want to come check out the studio? Come on in. We'll give you a tour. We'll give you like a free quote. And yeah, thank you.
All right.
Just wanted to get the ad out of the way.
Little promo.
Yeah. So now that you moved from Toronto to here, what would you say are some of like the biggest challenges that you've had to face?
I think the biggest challenges I've had to face is just being away from my family.
Are they all in Toronto?
Yeah, everybody's in Toronto. So like our support system is pretty much back there, and don't want to go home with your tail tucked between your legs,
Yeah.
like, Mom, Dad, I
couldn't do
failed,
it."
I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Do you still go visit them?
yeah, we go less frequently now. It's like maybe twice a year now.
Okay.
It used to be every other month.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I still had a contract back in Toronto, so like I was essentially being paid to fly out there
Oh, that's
to
good.
create content at the time. So
Nice.
we were lucky enough to be able to do that. But yeah, eventually had to slow down the trips, and the price of flights have just gone up, and the flights just keep going down. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thing is, all of my family members are really far away. They're back home in Bangladesh, right?
Okay.
Like here, it's just me, my mom, and my dad.
Yeah.
So like, even if I wanted to go see them, it's like a 2-day journey to go there, and then
Yeah.
2-day journey to go back, right? So you need at least like, I don't know, like a month to go there to really make it worth it.
Yeah, I feel like if you're traveling that far, you need to actually.
Yeah. So
be
I don't
gone
really
for a
go
month.
visit as often either. I think the last time I went was like 2018 or something.
Okay.
So it's been a very long time. Like, but my dad, he goes a lot because like his parents and everyone's there, right? But like I personally, I basically grew up here. I came here when I was like 5, I
Yeah.
think 4 or 5.
Okay.
So like all of my friends, everyone that I know is, you know, in Canada.
Yeah.
But when I did come to Canada, I moved around a lot. Like I went to Toronto. From Toronto, I went to Edmonton. Edmonton to Regina. Regina to Vancouver. Vancouver back to Regina. Regina back to here. I moved so much. It was crazy.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
a well-traveled gentleman right here.
Yeah, but now actually that's why I have a travel company, because I was like, I travel so much, I might as well start a travel company.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so if you guys ever need like cheap flights or something, let me know. But
Yeah, I'll be hitting you up for sure.
yeah, so, sorry, so much plugs. I'm bad. But yeah, I was like, I totally understand the feeling of not having any support system within the city, and it totally sucks. But I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of like really close friends and people that you've met here, right?
Yeah, I mean, my son's godparents, they're out here.
So
with
what
their friends we
exactly
made
is a
out here.
godparent? Because I've always been confused by that
So
term.
basically, it's somebody that you would trust to take care of your child if, say, both parents were to pass and there's nobody there for that kid.
I see.
So they're not going to be thrown into like an orphanage or whatever. It's
Okay.
like basically, them being like, hey, like I'll take care of your kid for you. I'll be their parent.
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah.
Nice. So they're both here?
Yeah, both of them are here. Yeah.
Did you meet them when you came here?
Well, one of them we met when we came here. It's actually one of my wife's old coworkers.
Okay.
And we became really good friends with them. And one of them was a guy that I've known since like elementary school back in Toronto, and he left after graduation.
Yeah.
And we lost contact.
They just
until I
randomly
came back
appeared here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
And
sick.
like, yeah, he's helped us out so much.
So those two godparents are not related to each other at
No,
all? Oh,
not at
okay,
all.
okay. I thought godparents were like another couple that
Yeah, no, we got like just the sets of godparents, and
That's
just
good, yeah.
yeah.
like kind of
Just
spread
feel
it
safe,
out.
so make sure the child's taken care of if anything were to happen.
How old is your child, if you want to say that?
He's one.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
nice. So
Yeah.
how's that been being like a new parent?
It is tiring. It is tiring. He's
Yeah.
really sick right now.
I'd assume so.
He just got like some of his shots, so he's a little under the weather, but you know, he'll battle through it. He's a happy kid, man. He's such a happy kid. He makes me happy.
Aw,
I leave the
that's
house in the
cute.
morning, and it's like when he grabs your legs, man, and doesn't want you to go. It's like, man,
Maybe I shouldn't go
I
today.
should
man.
just
I
stay home,
yeah, I'll
you
just-
know. But yeah, no, it's the love you get from a kid is just, it's crazy. It's unconditional love, right?
Yeah.
So
They're born into the world with no prejudice, nothing. They're just there to give.
exactly.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So let's say you said that you're getting back into the workforce, right?
Yes.
Would this be because of the kid?
Yeah, partially. I want to make sure that everything's secure. Like, you know, doing the content creation and stuff. Like, yeah, I can pay bills like that, but
It's like very like sporadic.
it's very sporadic, and I want something that I can give back even more. If it's a second income, it's a second income to me, right? Better than sitting on my butt at home. So yeah, just
What kind of like? How are you getting back into the workforce?
I just got my AMVIC actually. So
okay.
I'm gonna start selling cars.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I'm like super big into cars. I don't know if you saw my car parked out there, but it has like a red spoiler. It's a Mercedes.
Oh, okay,
I love cars.
All right.
So when do you plan on starting to sell cars?
I started as of yesterday. Yesterday was my first day.
Oh,
Just working, trying to hustle, sell some cars. These tariffs
Hell
are
yeah.
scaring me.
oh
bro.
my God, yeah. He just randomly is like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do the
man.
tariff today.
Yeah.
He said that yesterday, and it's imposed as of this morning. Right?
Yeah, it was this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that Alberta is not putting retaliatory tariffs back against them?
Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Like nobody's gonna win from this. At the end of the day,
I mean, Russia's gonna win.
yeah, I mean, the foreign countries are gonna win.
Yeah. We're literally just battling our neighbors for no reason. I don't see what is the benefit in this.
They were our best friends.
Literally.
What happened? I feel like it's like a sibling spat going on right now, right? But like, I feel like it's to the point where it's like, oh, you're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Oh, well, you're gonna do this, and we're gonna do
It's
this.
just
And
escalating.
It's escalating, and
Yeah.
it's getting out of control, kind of deal. And the only people that are gonna get hurt from this are people like you and me.
Exactly. Like the
Right.
people that are not involved in this in any way, we're gonna be the ones that are having to pay because all of the prices are gonna go up, and it's crazy.
Yeah, let me tell you, a $68,000 vehicle will now be going for almost $90,000. So like,
Yeah.
it's
rough out here.
It's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I personally think that honestly, Alberta should have. Again, I don't know anything about politics. I'm like literally like a monkey with a wrench when it comes to politics. Like, but I personally think that.
Curious George was a good mechanic. I just,
Okay, that's
just wanted
true.
to put that out
Yeah,
there.
you're right. You're right. But I personally, from my honest opinion, think that Alberta should have put retaliatory tariffs back because now it feels like all of Canada's gonna hate us because they're like, yo, why are you like taking their side? You were like one of our provinces,
Brother,
right?
I'm sorry to break it to you. All of Canada pretty much already hates
you're
Alberta, right?
But now it's just gonna
one of
hate us
those-
even more.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just Albertans just get hated on for everything.
We're like the
dude.
Texas of the USA, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's definitely a stereotype. I've heard so many stereotypes before I came here. A lot of
Really?
them were broken when I came here. You know, it's not everything that everybody in Toronto thinks it is, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same way, things people think about Toronto that live out here and they haven't been out there, it's just like, no, it's not really like that, right?
How do Torontonians think of Calgary?
They think it's Cowtown.
Yeah, like just ranches everywhere. There's like cows down the
redneck.
street.
We've got cows in the middle of the city. You know, like
I mean, it's kind of true. Like we had like a moose or a caribou like in the Northwest recently.
yeah. Northwest gets a lot of crazy wildlife,
Right
like
in front of my
cougars and
house.
stuff.
Actually, yeah, sure. Right in front of my house, I have like this huge hill.
Yeah.
And there's coyotes. I see them literally every day. Like
Wild.
every day I go out like on a jog or something and I'll see like a coyote. I'm like, yo, I know that one. Like I'm literally becoming friends with them at this point.
Yeah. The Northwest, when I was over there, it's a little wild with wildlife.
Yeah.
And I got over there and I was like, I don't know what's more dangerous, the Northeast at Marlboro Mall or the wildlife over in the Northwest. So
The people that are animals or the animals that are with the people. like, you don't know.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah.
I grew up in the Northeast actually when I first came to Calgary. I grew up in Rundle, like horrible. Okay, I don't want to say horrible, but it's like close to the ghettos. I'm not gonna lie. Rundle's considered one of the ghettos, I think. But I grew up there, and then I was fortunate enough to end up moving to the Northwest, and I've been here for almost like what 3 or 4ish years now in the Northwest. And I just want to say, like, sure, Northeast gets hated on a lot, but the sense of community in the Northeast you're not gonna find here in the Northwest. Like in the Northeast, I knew basically like everyone in like a 2 kilometer radius. Here, I don't even know my neighbors. Like, I don't even know if there's people in that house, bro.
Yeah,
I've never seen them.
People mind their business in the Northwest. They just kind
Exactly.
of keep to themselves. But yeah, I know Northeast, everybody knows everybody. It's so true. Like,
It honestly might also just be the fact that I'm the only brown house owner in the whole street I'm in. I don't know if that has any factors in it, but I don't know. Like in the Northeast, I could just go by, like, just go knock on my friend's door. He's right next door, and like we can go play soccer or something. Yeah. But I mean, in terms of security and stuff, this is definitely the best, I'd say, in all of Calgary.
Yeah.
And also, like, downtown's like right down the road, right? So if you ever need anything, just go down there.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like downtown's a little more accessible from the Northwest.
Yeah.
And, like,
there's like a ton of bridges connecting right into
there's
downtown.
more ways in than if you're coming from the Northeast. The traffic is just crazy.
And like the walking, or not the walk, yeah, I guess the walking and biking here in the Northwest is amazing. Like you have Prince Edward Island Park, I think it's that. Yeah, you have that right over there, and it's so nice. I think it's like 5 kilometers of just pure amazing walking space, and it's so good.
Yeah, the Northwest is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm in the Northwest, I'm just like, the mountains are there. You get this beautiful view. I was like, man, I like having a view of the mountains. I think that's also a reason why we ended up moving to Calgary.
Yeah.
Is because, like, I don't know, something about like something so big and just like it's humbling. Like, there's
especially when you go on that drive down to, like, was it Banff, I think?
Yeah, going to Banff and just keeps getting bigger.
Keeps getting bigger. You're like going through the mountains at a point. You're like, how did humans make this road? Literally going through mountains.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's crazy.
Like, can you imagine at one point before the tectonic plates shifted, all of that was flat, and one day it all just came up? Like, yeah, crazy. It's just when I think of things like that, it just kind of like helps me put things into perspective. And just like,
we're not really, like, all of the problems that we feel, that we face, it's nothing compared to how small we really are, right?
Yeah, I've recently started to like only worry about the things within my realm of control. I used to worry about things that were out of my control, like like what people were thinking about me, what people say about me. I don't care anymore. I really don't. Because I can't control it.
I think when you understand that fully, like, that's when you really come to like that sense of inner peace, and you can realize that, you know what, like, not everything's under my control. There's some stuff that I may not like, but I can't do anything about it. It's best for me to just focus on the things that I can do. And I mean, I don't know if you practice meditation, but that's something that they do teach you.
I probably need to meditate. I am stressed out, boy.
I mean, if you take just like 30 to 45 minutes out of your day to meditate, I feel like it's like a lot of, I don't know, it improves your mental clarity so much.
Yeah. I maybe I'll try. I think, like...
Yeah, you give it a shot. Maybe that's a new content idea. Me, like a time lapse of you meditating for 45 minutes, and you like try not to move.
Try not to. I'll move immediately. See, my whole thing is, like, having this baby at home. Yeah. Like, as soon as, if I got a chance to meditate, meditation is sleeping. Like, I'm out like a light. My wife would be like, oh, like, take him upstairs, just like put him to bed, and I'll lay down beside him for a minute, I'll knock out. I can't help it. I don't know what happened. I'll just wake up and be like, oh no.
You're one of those people that like fall asleep quickly?
I think so. My wife says I am.
Aw.
Yeah.
Must be nice, man. I have horrible insomnia. Like, most days I'll sleep like 3 hours max. Even today I barely slept.
Wow.
But for me, it's like, unless everything is like perfect, like not even one speck of light, and like the bed is like the perfect temperature, I just can't sleep. I don't know.
Dude, I will sleep on a concrete floor if I had to,
God.
man. Like, I don't know. I think my body is just like slowly like going through burnout. As I've said, like I haven't missed a day of posting.
Yeah, that's
in 3 years, and then I was making content for another company before that for about another like 6 years. So I mean, like, I've never missed a day, and I don't take days off. I think the only days off.
I think it's important to take like short breaks. Like, your algorithm's gonna be fine if you take like a week off, bro. I promise, it'll be okay.
I know, my wife keeps telling me, she's like, you can take a day off. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, if I take a day off and I'm off the algorithm and for one day, like, I can see the change in my views.
Yeah, it's okay. The mic won't pick those up, but there's some really nice cars going by.
So
I
the
keep
problem
like
when you got
glancing
two
over.
car guys here, just
Yeah, I love cars, man.
yeah.
I have like a lot of property and stuff in Dubai, and in Dubai the cars, like the range of cars
Yeah.
are much bigger, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm going again, like I just came back from there in January. I'm gonna be going again probably like November, December-ish.
Yeah.
And this time I'm gonna go and buy a car.
Man,
Like,
I've always
I
wanted to
can't
go
wait,
to Dubai,
man.
man.
Hey bro, you know Celestia travels, you know.
Plug.
Plug, plug. But yeah, Dubai is really nice. I get the sentiment that everyone thinks of it as like a fake city because of the fact that everything just seems so over the top. There's like marble everywhere, there's gold everywhere, right? But like at the same time, if you go to like the lower tourist areas like Sharjah or like those other places, like the smaller villages, right? Then you can really see how nice Dubai people are. Their sense of hospitality is like literally unmatched, I think.
Honestly, I don't look at Dubai as like a fake city at
Yeah.
all. I look at it as a new city. Because I mean, technically at one point Calgary was a fake city,
True,
right?
true.
So like it's something has to start new at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Dubai.
it's
I'm just
beautiful.
saying based on what I've heard or when I posted stuff, what people are commenting, right? They're like, oh my God, 50, 60 skyscrapers that all look the same. I'm like, bro, what? That's like, you go to New York, it's the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
Have you been downtown Toronto, man?
Exactly.
Like,
It's
all
like
the
the
buildings
exact
are like
same
that
thing.
rectangle. They just recently started making them different shapes and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
At least in Dubai, they're like, some of them are like different, right?
yeah.
Oh my. But yeah, I can't wait to go back. Welcome back to Successful. We'd like to get on with our second half of the show. And I just want to start off by thanking CelestiaBooking.com for sponsoring this show. So if you guys have any sort of travel needs, whether it be booking or renting a car or even, let's say, like a hotel or electronic sim, head on over to CelestiaBooking.com. We'll help you with everything. We have a really amazing travel advisor there, and she'll help you with getting your tours ready. And even if you just want to go to a place and you want to know, like, let's say, what are the best places to visit in that place, we'll help you get started with that. Thank you so much. And here's CelestiaBooking.com. All right, Rizzy, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, we took a short break,
Yeah.
and now let's get right back into it.
Yeah, I'm good, man. We're here.
Yeah, we're
There
here.
we go, we're
I was
here.
gonna ask, let's say your childhood. Do you want to maybe talk about that? How you
Sure.
grew up? What kind of settings you grew up around?
Grew up in the burbs, man.
okay.
Out in the east.
Were you born in Toronto?
I was born in Toronto. Family lived in like the Toronto area for a couple years and then moved out to the suburbs. So I essentially grew up out in like Pickering. Went to just outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
Went to Pickering High School.
How was that?
Pickering High School, man, it was interesting place. Had school shootings, that kind of stuff, man. Like undercover cops in school, like
Some 30-year-old guy. Yeah, I'm 16. Why?
no, like for real, dude. Like, why do you have a full beard in my class? Like, and you weren't here last semester. Like, what's going on,
just
dude?
spawned in.
Yeah. But no, like it was cool. It's the thing with growing up in like Ajax Pickering area is it's just a lot of homes. There's not a lot to do, so there's a lot of trouble to get into. So it's a matter of keeping your kids busy.
Yeah.
My parents tried to keep me busy. I grew up pretty much playing soccer and
Soccer.
and in a dance studio.
Nice.
So like I was literally like after school, I was doing something at all times. Like,
Yeah. I think that's good. Like keeping people, like, you know, off the streets, as they say, is like a really good idea, because the maximum amount of times people, like, let's say, do those bad things is when they're bored and they don't have anything going on in their lives, right?
Exactly. When you have nothing to do,
Yeah.
the devil has time for idle hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
That's a good quote.
yeah. So I mean, my parents kept me busy. I'm grateful for that.
How has Toronto changed from like when you were, like, you know, young and versus now? I'm sure it's been like a lot of stuff.
Toronto's way different from when I was younger.
Yeah.
I feel the cost of living has gone up so far in Toronto from when I was younger that people are more worried about bills. They're stressed out. They're angry. Everybody in Toronto is on edge, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like it could be such a great city if you could smile at somebody and they smile back at you.
Yeah.
Another reason why we moved to Calgary. We came for a quick visit and I talked to older gentleman on Stephen Ave for maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
I had no clue who he was. Till this day, I still don't know who he was, but he was a major influence on moving here.
Wow.
Because,
shout out random old guy.
yeah, like literally I made eye contact with this dude and like I smiled at him and he smiled and he said, "How are you?" And you know, and I said, "I'm good, how are you?" And like we literally stopped and had this conversation.
So in Toronto, do people like really either keep to themselves or are they just more angry, would you say?
They keep to themselves, and if you make eye contact with somebody, it's more a matter of, do I know you from somewhere? Is it a problem? Do we have beef? Like, what ends are you from?
Oh, okay,
like,
I see.
It's stupid street politics that should not exist.
Yeah, no, I feel like like fostering a nice community, that kind of stuff has no place in that.
Yeah, when
But yeah, Calgary is really good for that.
when violence starts breaking out in malls and innocents are getting hit, man, it's a little bit out of control. But like personally,
Extremely
because
out of
I've still go back to the city, I don't want to touch too much on it. But you know, it's just messed up.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, like which city do I prefer?
Yeah, which city do you
I prefer Calgary. It's a lot quieter. It's more my kind of level. I think the reason I'm managing to succeed out here is because I have the drive of somebody who grew up in Toronto where everything's expensive. If you miss work, you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah.
Like there's always somebody willing to take your jobs if you start slacking off, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I came here and people are like, "Oh, we don't work on Fridays and we take this day off." And I was like, "What? And you're sick? Oh no, just stay home." When I was sick in Toronto, I used to have to go to work and prove that I was sick before they go, "Oh, go home."
Oh yeah, go back home now.
And that was after they got their 3 hours out of you, right? So like, you know what I mean? And so it kind of like fostered this mentality in me where like I just constantly, if I'm not working, I feel like something's wrong. I feel like life is stagnant and I start panicking a little bit.
Is that why you're such a good content creator? Because you're always like pushing out stuff?
I think I'm a good content creator because I have really bad ADD. You know, a platform that rewards 15-second to 30-second videos for somebody with ADD is like it's perfect because it's on to the next one all the time, right?
Yeah, it's like done. I want to do this. Wait, no, actually, I want to do this one.
Exactly, and like I'm just pounding out ideas. I was doing 4 videos a day.
Damn.
For the first 2 years, I've cut down to like maybe 2 to 3 now. But that's just because of the baby, right?
And were all of these videos like filmed and edited and everything by you?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was film and edit everything. I went to school for that. I went to college for television and film production. So I got the skills from there.
Oh,
I mean, at least I'm putting it to work, I guess.
I also did a similar one. I did digital marketing.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. Nice.
No, I was actually kind of like disappointed in myself for a couple years because like I wasn't doing anything content creation wise, and I was like, I went to school, spent all this money paying off like student loans and stuff, like, and I'm not using it. And it wasn't until, you know, being able to work at the shop and doing the YouTube channel for them, and then evolving into doing their TikTok and turning into my TikTok and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't until then when I realized I was like, hey, now I'm doing what I went to school for.
So now, like, you're doing content creation as like a full time, right? Aside from like your new business.
Yeah, I feel like my content creation is my full time, and then, you know, my new venture is kind of like a part time right now because it
how's the
doesn't really pay as
AdSense on
much.
that? Like, how's the? I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but like, how's the pay and stuff?
So, as a TikTok creator, not making money.
Okay. So it's mainly off like sponsors and stuff?
It's mainly off of me going around to local businesses, getting contracts.
Okay.
You know, I'm working with a couple initiatives around the city, a couple youth initiatives, and they pay me to make content for them and just promote them as well.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of work for Carry Fest. It's a big carnival.
Carry Fest?
Yeah, it's essentially carnival. And they have it in Calgary. It happens in August.
Okay.
So definitely check it out. That's a plug right there for me. Shameless plug. But you know, I want people in Calgary to see the community, see the different kinds of community that the city has to offer.
Yeah.
As I said before, I moved here. You know, there was this whole
like a lot of stereotypes that got broken.
There's a lot of
right?
stereotypes that got broken, and that was one of them. Was, you know, the different communities, how deep the West Indian community is out here, how deep the South Asian community is out here, and you know there's even an East Asian community that's really strong out here,
like
and
a huge Filipino community. Oh my
there's
God.
a lot of Filipinos out here too, right? So, I mean, that's something that people out east don't see.
No, they just you know, like people from outside of Calgary, they just, is that what you call them, outies?
I don't know what we call them.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said. That's right.
No.
No, sorry. I was like, wait, outies, what's that?
No, I don't have a nickname for them.
Okay, but yeah, I feel like people that aren't in Calgary, they just see like the ranches and they're like, oh, okay, this is like a cowboy town or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's a huge soup of like multicultural people. Like there's people from literally everywhere in the world here.
Yeah.
And now that Toronto and Vancouver's like cost of living is so high, literally everyone from those places are just like, you know, coming here.
Yeah. Go away. It's getting expensive.
It's getting expensive. Now with the tariffs and stuff, it's gonna be even more expensive.
Man.
So good luck.
No, it's a beautiful city. I feel like people are moving here for a reason. It's not only the costs. Like, you know, they're all starting to clue in that, you know, Calgary's not a small cow town, right? And that's also,
This was like a little, like a hidden gem sort of when we
Yeah.
moved here. Like, what was it, like 7-8 years ago? It was like a little like,
Yeah.
hidden gem. Not many people knew
I
about it.
wish I came back then. People tell me stories about how cheap things were
was
in
so
Calgary
nice,
back
man.
then. They're like, oh, we were barely paying anything for gas. And I was like, man, I would have been driving everywhere. But,
Like I
you
said,
know,
we lived in Rundle, but we literally still lived like kings. Because back then, Rundle was really nice.
Yeah.
It's where all the people that, you know, weren't born in Calgary would come and they would just all be there. So sense of community was really nice. And now it's just like, bro, there's too many people, like too much.
the city's growing a little too fast.
Yeah.
I think that whole campaign that Alberta ran, it worked a little too well.
Yeah.
It really
I
did.
agree.
And now you've got people like me posting online about it. And
Now even more people are
now
gonna
even
come.
more people are like, oh, Calgary, and then they're looking into it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, sorry, but it's a nice city, and like it shouldn't be hidden. It's gonna blow up eventually into something that's bigger than life, and
There's a-
everybody who's here is gonna benefit from it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like tech companies that I've seen that are starting, like they're doing their startups here in Calgary. So like within 3 to 4 years, they're gonna start becoming like, you know, if they succeed, they're gonna start becoming really big. And I feel like that's what's really gonna put Calgary on the map. Is like, let's say like a huge company, like let's say like, I don't want to say like Nvidia or Apple, but like let's say like a really big company comes out of Calgary. Everyone will know what Calgary is, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's when like a huge migration will actually happen. Because right now a lot of people are leaving because, you know, they're deporting people and stuff because people come here with their on student visas,
Yeah, yeah.
but then they don't even go to school, so
Yeah.
they're just chilling here.
Yeah, they're just coming to work.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of those people, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens, and you know, I've seen how much a place can change within just 5 years. So I don't know, 5 years from now, you know, you guys can mark my quote. This will be like a really nice city, I think.
100%. I believe it too. And I mean, yeah, 5 years is like the length
It's like
for
a
everything
lot
to
of stuff
change.
you can change.
Yeah, because everything, even, you know, like with my content, I explained to my wife, like, I have a 5-year plan. Like, to get to where I want to be, I'm like 3 years in it. I have 2 years left to like accomplish what I set out to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right? So, and when I first started, I didn't know what I was setting out to accomplish.
Is this what you envisioned of yourself when you were little?
No. I honestly, growing up, I was, you know, heavily involved in like the entertainment industry, like background acting and, you know, stuff like that. So like I'm comfortable in front of the camera. So I mean, I guess life just kind of put me, everything
you
I've
needed to
done
be.
growing up, kind of everything's just put me where I need to be, I guess.
Nice.
And I've been lucky. I consider myself really lucky. I'm happy to be here, man.
Hey, it's
I'm just
amazing.
happy to be here.
I feel like it's amazing that you got to where you are in such a short time, might I say. And I feel like you honestly deserve it. Like, you seem like such a nice, honest, genuine guy. And I feel like
Thank you.
Those are some of the best types of qualities that you'd want to see in someone, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to see like, I don't know any. I don't want to say names, but like there's some people that like blow up and then they just move out of the city, completely forgot everyone that made them big, right?
Yeah.
And
They go to LA and they're all stars.
exactly,
all of
and
a
they just
sudden, right?
never mention the city that
Yeah.
actually raised them, and you're like, bro, why would you do that? Like that's such a bad thing to do.
Yeah. No, I think I feel like I owe this city a lot. I really do, and you know, every chance I get, I try to give back to the city. Like I'm not rich, you know, but I get sponsors and stuff, and they want to give me stuff, and I'm like, why are you giving it to me? You could give it to like the people, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So like places like Trust Convenience and stuff, like they're always hooking me up, but like I'd rather, you know, help out. So, you know, I've hooked them up with a few other like initiatives around the city so they can help give back and,
Nice.
you know,
That's amazing.
reward the kids for, you know, not being in trouble and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that's also a big thing is, you know, when kids aren't in trouble and stuff and, you know, they're actually like working hard to do something positive with themselves, they need to be rewarded. I feel
I
like
agree. Yeah.
with social media and everything now, when I see people doing something positive on social media, there's always like somebody saying something negative. Like,
I don't get
why?
it.
Why are you hating on somebody trying to better themselves, trying to better what's around them? Like, I don't understand it. That's how we're gonna grow as a community, as a city.
Yeah.
Right?
Those people that are leaving like those negative comments, they don't realize that the helpful stuff that the person is doing is going to help them in the future as well, right?
Exactly.
Like if other people pick up that helpful initiative or they get inspired by seeing that video, who knows, maybe that will come back and reward them.
Yeah.
And they're out here stopping that. They're literally stopping themselves from benefiting. It's so dumb.
Yeah, like
I
I will
understand.
literally, I make contents about the Northeast. I'm not gonna lie, I've benefited quite a bit from it.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I've taken my opportunities to try and put back into and reward the kids in that community because I feel like also they don't get a lot of recognition. Everybody expects the worst out of them. I've realized you mentioned, I live in Northeast Calgary, and like people's attitude changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not fair for the kids because they're just growing up there. That's where their parents can afford to live.
There's like an instant bias against them, and
it's
it's
like
just another hurdle they have to conquer.
Exactly. And they don't get rewarded enough. So why not, right? Like, so I've benefited off of the community, and I'm gonna try and give back to the community, and I'm gonna keep doing it, whether or not they love me or hate me for it.
I will help you whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you.
Hey, I mean, that's amazing. Like I said, you seem like the right guy to blow up, and that's amazing. Do you maybe want to talk about some inspirations or maybe give a little bit of like a shout out to anyone that you know?
Oh man, inspirations, dude. Ugh. Man, I can't even say who it really inspires me. I'd say there's one creator in the city that really inspires me that kind of reminds me to keep going all the time, and that would be Yana. Living with Yana. She's she's a full-time content creator. She posts everything. She's a definition of oversharing. She's the nicest person in the world, and like every once in a while she'll post something on her stories that just kind of reminds me that, like, you know, even she receives hate sometimes, and like, you know, how she's dealing with it as well. It just keeps me motivated, and to see her success and know that I'm not that far behind. I don't know, it just...
Is she generally like a really positive person?
Yeah, y'all should get her in here.
Sure.
I'm gonna tell her about y'all.
Okay, thank you.
For real, yeah, no, because
amazing.
Yeah, she's like, she's a business owner. She's got full-time content creation business. So yeah, she'd be a great person to talk to. She's literally,
like I said, like I'm down to have anyone on the podcast as long as they're like not super controversial, right?
Yeah,
like,
no. I thought I was super controversial.
You're not controversial,
Dude,
bro. What?
the last time somebody tried to get me on a podcast,
I
went to their podcast. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I went and I did this podcast, and they wanted to talk about like the haters and stuff.
Yeah.
And like they asked me, like, do you want to read some of your messages,
So
your
those,
DMs?
Those kind of podcasts, those are mostly just like clip farms. Like they just ask you the most provocative and like out of left field questions to put you on the spot.
Bro, I'm all for it. I'm the most open person. So like, you know, I was sharing everything. I shared it with them. And like, it was so controversial. As I'm reading it, I'm like seeing the people behind the cameras like, You know, so it's like,
Was it that bad?
yeah, dude, I get some crazy messages. People like, even like to this day, I get people threatening me. Like,
I feel like it's just volume, right? Once you reach so many people,
yeah,
some people no matter what you do to them, you can't please them.
yeah, honestly, and you know what? A couple people told me if you don't have haters, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, yo, keep hating, cause yeah, I might even turn my comment section back on TikTok. I've had it off.
I was gonna ask
yeah.
about that actually. Yeah, that was gonna be my next
So-
topic. Why is it turned off?
Thing with posting on social media and dealing with these comments, and you have to read them. You read them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it came to a point where people were attacking other people in my comment sections. So I put it so the comments had to go through a review.
It was like a war going on
But then
there.
I have to read the comments to review.
Yeah.
And
Who's
yo,
got
it's
time for that?
not good for your mental health. Like, it is really not. Like, my wife spoke to me, like my friends have spoken to me, even my mom spoke to me.
Yeah.
I've been like, yo, you need to like chill. Like, cause like there's sometimes, yo, you get those comments, I'm like, yo, that's so out of pocket. Like, how are you gonna say that, yo? And I clap back. I'm from Toronto, like, bro, I got an attitude. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Hey,
I'm the
that's good.
nicest person. I will treat you like gold until you show me some shit, okay?
Yeah.
Like, and I will shit all over you. I'll treat you like a toilet, bro. All right? When I go for the jugular and people don't like that, I guess. And then it's like, oh, you're the bad guy. You shouldn't have responded like that. And it's like, okay, so
Would you not have responded? Like what?
yeah, you would have responded. You said something out of pocket in the first place. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You shouldn't have said that. Don't threaten my wife. Don't threaten my kids. Like, you know, I threaten me all you want. Like,
Exactly. When like people that aren't involved gets being involved, I think that's when you like draw a line. Like, okay, now it's gone too far.
exactly. And like, you know, don't be racist to me, dude. Like, what's with
course.
people and being racist? Like
I don't know,
what
man.
is
People
why do you
are just-
hate people based off of like just their skin color? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm no different from Tom, Dick, or Harry. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just a dude trying to make it in this country. Like, you know what I mean? I was born here, and people just assume because I'm a different color that I'm not
Like an
from
immigrant
here
or something. Yeah.
you know what I
know.
mean? So
I
like,
get that.
yeah, I'm a first generation Canadian. I was born here. You know what I mean? Like, my parents are immigrants. I understand, like, you know, their struggles and everything.
But like even if you're an immigrant, like who cares,
Who
right? You're still
cares?
human at the end of the day, and
Who
they got here the
cares?
same way as you did. Like
exactly.
it's so stupid being racist. I don't get it.
I don't get it. I think people the world needs a little bit more love and a little less hate.
Yeah.
I think a little more positivity will go a long way. And it's just how you treat people. So that's why I turned off my comment section,
fair.
because I was like, my mental health was like going to shit, and like, you know, my wife was noticing it.
Yeah.
Even I started to be like, all right, yo, you need to chill. So I turned off the comment section.
Hey, I mean that's why the settings there, right?
Yeah, I turned
Like,
off the
if it
comment
helps, it
section
helps.
and I unblocked all my haters so that they can see.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
No, so they can see that I'm still like doing my thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
want them to see that I'm doing well. I want them to see that, like, you know, what they were doing it was more motivation than it was like trying to like hinder
try and
me.
stop you,
Yeah,
yeah.
so,
Would you say you have a lot of haters here in Calgary? Or?
babe, do I have a lot of haters here in Calgary? Yeah, yeah. The answer is yes. Yeah.
I don't know. You just seem like such a nice guy. I don't know why people would hate on that.
But
I guess they're just jealous or some shit.
Honestly, the hate seems to be mostly online.
Well, yeah, it's like, of course, they're not gonna say the same shit in front of you, right?
Yeah, in person, people are like really nice. They're generally happy to see me. I always take the time to talk to people and, you know, like take pictures if they want. I don't mind. I'm like, it's weird, but you know, it's something like I see myself as like a normal guy. Like, so when
Yeah.
people ask me for photos, I'm like, are you sure? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm literally nobody. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I mean, that's just how people are, right? Like, it's really hard to see yourself from someone else's like point of view because
Yeah.
a completely different version of you lives inside of their head versus what you are.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I forgot there was this one quote that's like, there's 1,000 different versions of you living out there in the world.
Yeah.
Like maybe someone just saw you like, you know, like at your worst, and now all they can think of you is that one moment, right?
Yeah, brother,
So-
there's some people out there that think I'm the biggest racist in the world because I said I don't like Tim Hortons.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little overrated. I'm not gonna lie.
It's overrated. It doesn't taste like it used to. My order's always wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want Timmy's no more, man. I'll pay the extra and go to Starbucks, bro. Like, it is what it is. It's just an opinion, astute observation. You know?
I have definitely noticed the decline in fast food order receiving.
Yeah.
I won't
They're
mention the reasons why, but
They're
I have
not the
noticed it.
only restaurant that's like getting my order. They're just the one that's like more frequent. There was literally a video that was viral the other day.
Yeah, I saw like going to like 20 different Tims and ordering the same thing,
like
right?
3 of them got his order right. And I was like, what? And it was like the simplest order too. I think it was like a double and like a bagel with cream cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I haven't gone to a Tim Hortons in almost like 4 years, I think.
good for you, man.
So I don't know the climate of Tim Hortons, but yeah.
Yeah, good for you, man. No, stick it to the man, for real.
But yeah, we're reaching the end of our time, so maybe do you want to give out like a sort of like a shout out to anyone? Maybe talk about any projects that you're working on?
Yeah, definite shout out to Iconic Hoops. They're an initiative out in Northeast Calgary. Coach T's like trying to train these kids. His whole goal is to keep them tired and keep them off the streets. He runs the camps on a Friday and a Sunday, and the Fridays knocks them out. They don't want to do anything Friday night. Saturday they're burnt out, and Sunday, you know, keep them tired again and keep them training. And you know, these kids, like some of them are gonna make league, like legit. Like there's like levels of talent you see in people, and it's like that kid's a natural. Kind of deal. And like there's some kids in that camp, I'm like, if it's not NBA, you're making a league somewhere. Like your basketball is your future if you play your cards right.
Yeah.
And you know that's why I want to give them a shout out, is because Iconic Hoops and Coach T and you know the rest of the team there, they're really like pushing these kids to their limits. These kids are like leaving them dripping sweat. We have them running that. If y'all are watching this, you don't know about the stairs in Calgary. The stairs are brutal.
Oh, the one by Crescent Heights?
Yeah.
I live right in front of that.
Okay, yeah.
I think I've seen them before.
Yeah, we have those. You usually see them. They're all wearing matching
I think
T-shirts
I've
and
seen
stuff.
them.
Yeah. We got them running the stairs and stuff. And bro, they'll be doing like 9, 10 times up those stairs, and I'm like running behind them filming. I'm like, man, I don't know how you're doing this. That's when I feel old.
Bro, I do it like once. Like I go down, I come up once.
Yeah.
I'm finished.
Just shot.
I'm
Yeah.
done, bro.
I was like, man, I'm out of shape. I think my age is catching up to me, dude. Oh man. Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out Iconic Hoops,
Yeah.
and you know we'll have them in the description as well. So if you guys want to support them, you guys can do that. And thank you so much, Rizzy, for coming on the podcast, bro.
Yo,
it was
thank you for
amazing
having
having
me.
you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, like it's just TikTok isn't a platform where I get to share who I am.
Exactly.
You know, and like I'm just grateful for y'all to give me the opportunity to
That's
do
kind of
that.
why we did this whole podcast, is because there's a lot of people that make like really short form content, but because they make such short form content, it's really hard to get a glimpse into like their life, right? Or like anything like large that they want to say.
Yeah.
That's why we give them the platform. We just talk to them for like 40, 50 minutes, see what's going on, and yeah.
Yeah, I love what y'all got going on here.
Thank you so
Keep
much.
it up, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Done.